Good evening. Today we are going to talk about copayments and whether they are a good policy for our healthcare system. First, we are going to talk about the history of copayments, what they are, and why they have been applying for more than 40 years. Then we'll hear some opinions about copayments from our healthcare users and healthcare providers. We'll end up, as always, with a simple conclusion. Copayments have been a matter of constant debate since the late 60s. The economics of moral hazard and the RAN experiment are the two measures articles used to justify copayments. However, they are from the late 60s and 80s and have some significant drawbacks. For example, the RAN experiment did not include an important part of the society, those without healthcare system. Regarding to the economics of moral hazard, well, let's see first what is moral hazard. In Spain, the healthcare system is tax-based. That means health is a human right, its funding comes from public revenues, and the government is the one in charge of ensuring universal access to health. It does seem straightforward and with no flaw at first sight, right? Nevertheless, one may argue that the healthcare system could be used in a relaxed manner. For example, because I don't have to pay every time I go to the GP, I go every day. This change in our behavior is better known as moral hazard. But is it easy to apply this concept in health? There are economic mechanisms in order to do so. Let's take a look. Suppose you're traveling and admitted to the hospital for a bone fracture. You have a private health insurance which covers the deductible. This is an amount of money for healthcare services before your health insurance begins to pay. In this case, let's say 1,500 euros. The total amount to pay when you're discharged is 1,500 euros. Then you need to get an X-ray and attend to the physician, which adds up to 500 euros. Based on the stipulation of your health insurance policy, your deductible has been used up, and you have to pay a fixed percentage for the following services. For example, 30% of the 500 euros, that is 150 euros. This fixed percentage is called coinsurance. Finally, you need some painkillers. Here once again is your health insurance to the rescue. A fixed amount of money for a healthcare service, in this case the prescribed anti-inflammatories, is a copayment. Let's say 10 euros per box. You will spend 10 euros in copayment every time you buy painkillers. Now we have some concepts about moral hazard and how to try to avoid it. They are their deductibles, coinsurances, and copayments. It is time to hear some people about copayments and the situation in Spain. In 2012, the National Decree for Sustainability of the Healthcare System was released. This modified how we pay for medication, affecting principally pensioners and low-income workers. After this measure, the number of prescriptions dispensed dropped between 10 to 20% throughout Spain. Quality of life, adherence to treatment, and purchasing power have been affected. In addition, copayments have gone beyond the boundaries of medicine, affecting people in a situation of dependency, and also affected the big pharma companies, where restructuration, euphemism for firing employees to maintain profit, have been implemented. Now, let's hear what people think about copayments in Spain.
Jo hi ha moments que em plantejo que seria bo que hi hagués copagament per responsabilitzar més la gent d'anar a les visites quan les té programades, cosa que ara no ho fan, i de ser més proactius amb el que és la seva educació sanitària.
Yo no estoy de acuerdo con los copagos por una razón, porque pienso que las personas que toman medicación temporal o periodos muy cortos, pues bueno, podrían pagar, pero las personas que tienen, los pacientes que tienen medicaciones crónicas para toda la vida y para siempre, yo creo que esta gente no debería pagar.
Pienso que es bueno que haya alguna fórmula de copago. La dificultad es en buscar un sistema de copago que no prive, que por temas económicos y sociales tenga todo el mundo acceso a la sanidad. Y por esto la fórmula la veo complicada, pero la veo absolutamente necesaria.
In theory, if we consume more health, we will be healthier. For example, the more I go to the GP and more complementary tests makes me, the healthier I become. Is that completely true? Or am I just making the healthcare system collapse? The answer is, as always seems to be, money. There is plenty of evidence to show that copayments reduce adherence to treatment, but an example will be more useful. Suppose you have a heart attack. You'll need to take important medication for a long period of time. If you have to pay for that medication and you're not able to afford it, you might not buy it. If you don't take the medication you really need, it is highly possible you get sick again. If you get sick again, this is going to cost you a lot of money, but also is going to cost a lot of money for the healthcare system as well. And the cycle begins all over again. Healthcare is a complex and dynamic system, and because of the many components that affect it, it is hard to find a definitive strategy to best address its complexity. Moreover, considering the overwhelming velocity of changes of information, policies and concepts should be revised continuously and do not be based on out-of-date evidence. Besides, the healthcare system is imperfect, and copayments make it even more imperfect. That's because, from LSE Health Policy News, we strongly recommend that all efforts to try to improve our quality of life made by policymakers, healthcare providers, and each of the links of the healthcare system chain must focus on those who are the most affected. Therefore, copayments are a bad idea if the less advantageous and poorer members of our society are affected by them. Thank you for watching us. We hope we have been helpful to try to understand a little bit more of this complicated but fascinating world. Thank you so much again. See you next June.